By the summer of 1942, Nazi Germany, under Adolf Hitler, was deep into its campaign on the Eastern Front. Hitler aimed to capture the Soviet Union's southern regions, rich in oil and other resources. Stalingrad, located on the western bank of the Volga River, was a key industrial city and a vital transportation hub. It was also symbolically important, bearing the name of Soviet leader Joseph Stalin. The German plan, codenamed Operation Blue, aimed to capture Stalingrad and then push further south to seize the oil fields of the Caucasus. For Hitler, capturing Stalingrad would deal a severe blow to Soviet morale and cut off vital supply routes. The battle began with the German Sixth Army, led by General Friedrich Paulus, launching an assault on Stalingrad in late August 1942. The Luftwaffe, Germany's air force, bombed the city relentlessly, reducing much of it to rubble. Despite the devastation, the Soviet defenders, commanded by General Vasily Chukov, fiercely resisted the German advance. As the Germans pushed into the city, the battle devolved into brutal urban warfare. The fighting in Stalingrad was characterized by its intensity and close quarters combat. Soldiers fought block by block, building by building, and even room by room. The Soviets employed a strategy of hugging the enemy, staying as close to the German forces as possible to neutralize their air and artillery superiority. As the battle raged on through the fall of 1942, the Soviet High Command, under Stalin and his generals, including Georgy Zhukov, prepared a massive counteroffensive. This plan, codenamed Operation Uranus, aimed to encircle the German forces in Stalingrad. By attacking the weaker Axis flanks, held by Romanian, Hungarian, and Italian troops. On November 19, 1942, the Soviets launched Operation Uranus. The Soviet armies struck both north and south of Stalingrad, quickly overwhelming the Axis forces on the flanks. Within days, the Soviet forces encircled the entire German Sixth Army, trapping over 250,000 German and Axis soldiers inside the city. As winter set in, the situation for the encircled German troops became dire. The trapped soldiers faced severe shortages of food, ammunition, and medical supplies, and the harsh Russian winter added to their misery. Hitler ordered General Paulus to hold out and promised that the Luftwaffe would supply the Sixth Army by air. However, the airlift operation failed to deliver sufficient supplies, and the situation became increasingly desperate. By late December 1942, the German relief effort, codenamed Operation Winter Storm, led by Field Marshal Erich von Manstein, attempted to break through to the encircled Sixth Army, but was ultimately unsuccessful. The Soviet forces tightened their grip, and the German troops, weakened by starvation, cold, and constant combat, were pushed back into a shrinking pocket within the ruins of Stalingrad. On January 31, 1943, General Paulus, promoted to Field Marshal by Hitler in a futile attempt to inspire him to fight to the death, surrendered to the Soviets. The remaining German forces surrendered on February 2, 1943, marking the end of the Battle of Stalingrad.